Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Fifth Floor, a podcast about creativity, art, and photography. My name is Athina, and I am your host. So, you must have heard or read somewhere the phrase, done is better than good. But what does that really mean when it comes to creativity? Basically, it is the idea that finishing something matters more than making it perfect. In creative work, and to be honest, in any work that involves making something new, momentum is more valuable than flawless execution. Think about it. Something finished, even if it is messy or imperfect, exists in the world. Something almost perfect that never leaves your head, it doesn't. So today, we're going to talk about perfection and creativity and how to actually make things instead of just thinking of them. So, perfection is a state of being as good as possible, without any flaws or shortcomings. In simple terms, it is being complete and without error. Sounds noble, right? But often, perfectionism wears a halo of fear. Fear of criticism, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. And that fear shows up in your work. When you insist on making something perfect, you risk never finishing it, burning out, losing joy in the process, or missing the lessons that only completing something can teach. Because here's the truth. Done gives you feedback. Done gives you confidence. And done teaches you how to do better next time. Good, on the other hand, or the illusion of good, just keeps you stuck. Every finished piece, no matter how messy, is a bridge to the next thing. If you wait for perfection, you never build that bridge. You can't improve what you don't complete. You can't learn from work that never sees the light of day. Artists, writers, and inventors know this instinctively. Your body of work grows through complete projects, not perfect ones. So done is better than good isn't about lowering your standards. It is about freeing yourself from paralysis. Progress, not perfection, is what creates mastery and joy. Every finished piece builds trust with yourself. Every completion proves you can follow through, and that's the real creative power. And now you might be thinking, okay, I get it. Perfection keeps me stuck. But how do I actually keep making, sharing, and moving on? How do I outsmart that perfectionist voice in my head? Well, as we discussed in the episode about fear, the key isn't to get rid of perfectionism. Perfectionism is part of how you care about your work. The key is to acknowledge it and to work with it and to incorporate in your practice some simple habits that favor momentum over perfection. So here is a simple framework that helps me set my mindset on track, and it may help you as well. It has 5 core ideas. So number 1, step by step, day by day. Creativity isn't about giant leaps. It is about small, steady steps. Pick one tiny thing you can do today and do it. Tomorrow, do the next small thing. Over time, those small steps add up to real progress. You don't need to see the whole staircase. Just focus on the next step. Believe me, this works wonders. Trying to do everything and all at once and make it all perfect, it is so inexplicably impossible that you end up doing nothing. Number 2, take action. Momentum comes from action. First, make something. Don't overthink it. Then share it, even if it is rough, not ready. Next, reflect on what worked, what didn't, and what surprised you. And finally, move on to the next thing. This keeps the flow going instead of letting perfectionism freeze you. Because when you keep creating, sharing, learning, and moving forward, you stay in motion. And that's where growth happens. Number 3, detach yourself from the outcome. It is tempting to tie your self-worth to your work, but creativity thrives when you focus on the process, not the result. Your job is to show up, make, and finish. What happens next isn't your responsibility. Number 4, fail fast. Perfectionism thrives on fear of failure. Flip that around. Fail quickly, learn quickly. Every failure is just an experiment. The faster you finish and see what doesn't work, the faster you improve. And finally, number 5, write it all down. Thoughts, fears, ideas, drafts, reflections, get them on paper or screen. Writing externalizes pressure, clears your mind, and lets you spot patterns. It is also proof of progress. You can look back and see how far you have come. And now on a personal note, perfection, or really the idea of perfection, is my number 1 procrastinator. I can tweak and edit and rework things endlessly. But I'm learning. I'm getting better at letting things be good enough and just putting them out there. And honestly, this podcast itself is a tiny proof of that progress. It is me practicing what I preach, one small step at a time. Actually, I want to read you a part of the launch newsletter because it captures exactly what I mean. So, as I'm writing this, it keeps coming into my mind an interview of Elizabeth Gilbert I watched a few years back where she spoke about the novelist Anne Patchett's creative process. Patchett says her favorite part of the creative process is when she's in the dreaming state of it, and she gets to be alone with the idea for the novel, and it follows her for years, and she's thinking about it, and it is growing in her head and in her imagination. The thing that she's going to make, she describes it as a tourmaline butterfly, like a butterfly made out of gems, that it catches the light so beautifully, it is so exquisite, it is so perfect and full of promise, but eventually, to bring it into the world, you have to smash that perfect vision with a mallet and let it go, because it can never exist. And then you make the approximation of your tourmaline butterfly, which is made out of used chewing gum and baseball cards and twigs and a tin can and a hinge. But what you end up with is your butterfly, not the perfect one, but the one that is uniquely yours. And this is how I feel about this podcast. This is my butterfly, which is made out of used chewing gum and baseball cards and twigs and a tin can and a hinge. But it is mine, and I can finally present it to you with intention and promise that it will expand and evolve and only become better and better. And the hope that it will be our safe space, a space where we will all feel less alone in our creative journey and keep us going and creating. And now, here we are, 11 episodes in, with season 1 almost done, and I can honestly say that I have learned so much, but I will save those reflections for the next and final episode of season 1. Okay, and to conclude this episode, I'm not saying don't aim for excellence or don't do your best. Absolutely do your best. But also learn to recognize when striving for perfection becomes an excuse for not sharing, creating, and moving on. So let this be your reminder. Done is better than good. So, step by step, day by day, make something, share it, reflect, and then move on. Experiment, learn, and keep the momentum going. And most importantly, don't let the fear of imperfection stop you from creating at all. Take one small step today, just one, and trust that it will add up. That's how progress really happens. Okay, but before you go, and if this has helped you in any way, please send it to one friend who needs to hear this today. And never forget in your life that we have a new podcast every Wednesday. To visit fifthfloor.me and subscribe to our newsletter to get updates Follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and share if you liked and leave a review. If you're listening via YouTube, please subscribe and share any topics you wish us to discuss or to expand on more. Okay, bye for now and thank you for being here. See you on the next one.